Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with our fourth chapter, the anime. You all know what is anime. Here we'll discuss about a duty of a doctor and responsibility of a citizen towards its country. Let's start with the story. Here you will find main characters as Dr. Sadao and his wife Hana and an American prisoner. Basically, this story discusses the enmity of two countries, Japan and America. They both are rivals during this chapter. So, you will come to know. Let's start. The story is set in the days of World War II. It is about a Japanese doctor, Dr. Sadao and an injured American soldier whom he treated. At the time, Japan was at war with America, and Dr. Sadao was not only as a doctor but also a scientist. He was perfecting a technique that would render the wounds perfectly clean. But he had not been sent to the war front with troops. The old general was ill. He might need an operation, so Sadao was kept with them in Japan. Sadao met Hana in America. Hana, who is the wife of Dr. Sadao. Both of them had gone to study and fall in love. They came back to Japan, married each other as Japanese ritual, and both had two children. Now our story starts. One day, Dr. Sadao and his wife Hana were standing in veranda of their house. Suddenly they saw a man coming out of the mist to the seashore. It seemed that he had been flung out of the sea by a big wave. He staggered a few steps away. Then he fell and started crawling on his knees and hands. After a few minutes, he fell on his face and lay there. At first, Sadao and his wife thought that perhaps he was a fisherman. But when they went near the man, found that he was an American. He lay there unconscious. Dr. Sadao found that there was a gun wound on his lower back and that was bleeding too. In order to stop bleeding, he packed the wounds with sea moss. Dr. Sadao said to his wife that the man was injured and, being a doctor, he had the moral duty to treat him. But there was a problem of servants in the family. Hana suggested that they would tell the servants that they intended to hand over the man to police after treating him. You know why Hana says these things? As a citizen of Japan, Dr. Sadao and Hana could not help an enemy country, and he was also a soldier too. So it was a difficult time for them to decide whether to save the soldier or let him die. Dr. Sadao, being professionalist, decides to save him. But they have doubt what their servants would say if they help him, and this could lead them to danger too. Ultimately, Dr. Sadao decides to help this soldier. Then Sadao and his wife carry the injured man into the house. This person was very weak. Doctor said if he was not operated upon soon, he would die. And the man was very dirty. Sadao said that he should first be washed. But Hana the man was dirty too. Sadao asked that the man should be washed first. But Hana did not want to touch the man. She said that she would ask Yumi, who is the servant, to wash him. Yumi was called to wash the soldier. Dr. Sadao informed everybody about American prisoner of war. The gardener said that master should not heal the wounds of enemy. Hana was also doubtful whether to save him or not. Yumi came in, but she refused to save white man. Then Hana herself decided to wash the man. She dipped the towel in hot water and washed the man carefully. When Sadao entered the room with his surgeon, Hana helped him. Sadao washed the injured man's back and asked Hana to give him anesthetic. When she saw the big wound, she felt sick and ran outside. But after some time, she came back. She saturated the cotton with anesthesia and held it near the nostrils. American became unconscious. Sadao started his operation. First of all, they took out the bullet, which was still in his body. Then he gave him an injection. As a result, his pulse grew stronger. Sadao told his wife that now man was out of danger. On the third day of operation, when Sadao entered his room, he found the young man had regained some strength and was recovering. The man asked Sadao whether he would hand him over to the police. Sadao told him that he had not decided anything till now. In the meantime, American grew stronger day by day, and servants were not pleased. One morning of the seventh day, servants left together. Hana also started asking Dr. Sadao about his clear decision regarding American prisoner. In the afternoon, a messenger in official uniform came in, and Hana was terrified. But he simply said that the general had asked Sadao to visit his palace in order to check him. She heaved a sigh of relief. Sadao went to see General and told him about the presence of American soldier in his house. The general was not angry. On the other hand, he praised his skills as a surgeon. General told Sadao that American would have to be killed so that no matter did not reach the police. He said that he would send his private assassin who would kill the American without making any noise. They would even take the dead body so far that there would be no trace of American having come to Sadao's home. Sadao kept waiting for them, but nobody reached, and American was alive. American went to him and told him now he is all right and could go home. He told the soldier that he would put his boat on the shore that night with food and extra clothing in it. The American could row the boat to the little island. He could live on the island till he saw a Korean fishing boat pass by. As soon as it was dark, Sadao dragged his boat to the shore and put food and bottled water, as well two quilts in it. He also gave American a little flashlight. He asked him to give him signal in two flashes if he feels that food ran out. The American shook Sadao's hand warmly and went away to the shore. Next morning, Sadao told the general that American had escaped, and Sadao did not ask about anybody. The general had been operated upon a week ago, and week 2. The next week, Sadao again told general about American prisoner. Now general remembered his promise, but he forgot due to his illness. So general told Sadao to keep this matter as a secret. And now Sadao also feels that he is quite safe. He feels safe for him as well for American prisoner. American soldier. In the meantime, the servants came back, and now the household was again running smoothly. And Sadao felt very happy and satisfied. He did not saw any flashlight at night. It means that that soldier left that lonely island too and must have reached to his place safely. So here in this story we can say Dr. Sadao played very important role, and he was quite dutiful. He played his duty, fulfilled his duty very carefully. As a doctor, his conscience was not giving him to let the soldier die. His inner spirit was not allowing him to let this soldier to hand it over to Japanese. Ultimately, he listened to himself. He listened to his heart and saved a life. Though it could be dangerous and risky too. He could have been caught and could be punished too. But by the God's grace, nothing happened wrong. Everything went in the proper way and in the safe manner. We salute these kind of doctors who saved the life of an enemy. The enemy for the country is the enemy for us too. Thank you.